As the name indicates, it is used when there is a repetition of a specific consonant 2 or more times in a line. In Hindi, it's the napraz alankar. Let's read an example. In the ball poem, there is a line, "No one buys a ball back." Here, the letter is repeated 3 times, as in buys, ball, and back. Thus, alliteration is used here. Thus, we know alliteration is used when same sound comes 2 or more times within a line. Next, we'll know about repetition. That is, punarokti alankar. It is used when a word, line, or even stanza is repeated. It's similar to alliteration. But the difference is that, in alliteration, only the first letter of a word is repeated in a line. But in repetition, a whole word, line or stanza is repeated again. For example, in The Tale of Custard, the Dragon, you'll remember the first stanza, that is, Belinda lived in a little white house, with a little, etc. The same stanza is repeated in the end. So, repetition is used here. Also, in a Manda poem, the word Amanda is repeated many times. Now, let's see, simile. As the name tells, it is used when something or someone is shown similar to another. It's used to tell about its characteristic. Words like, as, are used in simile. Let's see an example. In The Tale of Custard the Dragon, there's a line telling about the mouth of Custard. The line is, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose. Here, his mouth is like a fireplace. The word, like, is used. So it is simile. But did you notice? In the same line, it's written, chimney for a nose. Thus, it tells about the nose of Custard. Thus, it's a simile. No! It's not a simile. Because no word as, is used. And in the case, when an example is given to show the characteristic of someone, without the use of as or like, then it is metaphor. So now, we've understood the difference between simile and metaphor. In simile, likers is used to make comparison. And in metaphor, comparison is made, but without the use of such word. In metaphor, the person or thing is directly told, same to another. Now, personification. As the name indicates, it's used when a non-living thing, or a plant, or animal, is considered a person, that is, a human. For example, in the Trees poem, there's a line. Winds rush to meet them. But, how can wind rush to meet someone? Thus, it is personification. Now, we'll look at refrain. When there is a same line in the end of every stanza of a poem, then the poetic device used is refrain. You can know a line is repeating after every stanza only when you know the whole poem or several stanzas. Next, we have onomatopoeia. It's very difficult to say this word. Onomatopoeia is used when words are used to tell about sound. In this, the pronunciation of word is same as the sound. For example, click. Click sound is just click. I know you are understanding. For example, in The Tales of Custard, the Dragon, there is a line. With a clatter and a clank, and a jangling squirm. In this, clank word is used as onomatopoeia. By clank, you know, it's a sound of metal. Then, the next poetic device is pun. It's used when a single word had 2 different meanings. But how will we know whether a word has 2 different meanings? You need not worry. Whenever you're not able to find any poetic device in a line, then there will be one word that will have 2 meanings. You can take it as pun. When you're sure that no other poetic device is used in the line, well, don't worry much about this. I don't think it will be difficult. Then, there is imagery. As the name indicates, it makes a picture of the story in our mind. The poet can use any device, like simile or metaphor, to describe a story as clear as it can be. At last, there is irony. Irony means when something happens that is not supposed. Like a climax. For example, in the tales of Custard the Dragon, ink, Blink and Mustard were supposed to help Melinda from the man. But ironically, they ran away. It's also ironic that the coward dragon eats him up. Next. Invocation. It's used when the poet is praying for something, especially from God. Also, when someone is speaking mantras for performing magical rites. Now, try to identify some poetic devices by yourself. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Which poetic device is used in the third and fourth line? Yes. It is repetition. Because the word brilliant is repeated. By the way, which poem stanza is this? Yes, it is extracted from A Tiger in the Zoo. I'm sure you have watched the video on my channel. And if not, the link is in the description. Next. Stop that slouching and sit up straight. In this line, alliteration is used. The letter is repeated many times in stop, slouching, sit, and straight. And from which poem this stanza is extracted? Next. I'm a Rapunzel, I have no care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. May you know, this is from Amanda. Amanda says she is Rapunzel. But she is not Rapunzel. Thus, it is metaphor. Next. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Which poetic device is used here? As, like word is used here, so it's a simile. And which poem? Yes. The Tales of Custard the Dragon. Now, you've completed poetic devices. Remember, you will not have to identify difficult poetic devices. You just worry about common poetic devices, such as simile, metaphor, alliteration, etc. Now, you have understood all the devices. So there's no need to worry. Please like and share this video.